Let me just make sure. Alrighty, so we should be live. I'm going to be trying to go live on my end right now. So, anyways, if you're coming in on 1980 stream, what's going on, everybody? Got a special guest here. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I'm hearing the feedback on my. But yeah, we got a special guest here. Mr. Rome, Cowboy Fan Talk. We know who he is. If you don't know who he is, I think you're doing a disservice in not knowing who he is. So I recommend that you go catch up on who he is. So by all
Appreciate it,
means,
bro.
Rome, by all means, go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, it's your boy, Mr. Ron, Cowboys Fan Talk. Appreciate these guys bringing me on. I've been doing this for about 8 months now, I think 7-8 months since last July. And hey, man, I'm just trying to make my footprint in the Cowboys community, and bring some realism to some of the topics that we don't get from the 4-letter and 3-letter network. So that's all I'm here to do is just provide some good information and some good opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's kind of weird with what's been going on in Cowboy Land. We all know that the topic of discussion, and it's going to be dominating the news cycles until March, and that's Dak Prescott's contract. I know that many people feel certain ways about it. I know we've all talked about it. Um, I'll go ahead and I'll let as Rome is the special guest, I want to make him go first. So I know you've been talking about it a lot on your channel, but go ahead for the people that are watching now. What is your fundamental view on what's going on with the Cowboys, and how do you think they should go about what's with Dak? Like, what's your whole viewpoint on that?
Well, it's simple. I think we should sign Dak Prescott. There's not really other, like, it's, you could either look at it in a super optimistic way, sign Dak Prescott because I love him as a quarterback. I'm not really looking into the details of the situation. I don't care. You can look at it like that, or you can look at it in a more like capologist way, like, okay, we need to sign Dak Prescott because either you're going to just completely blow up the team. There's no grab another quarterback, alternative. Let's keep this thing rolling type situation. Unless, like I said in a previous video, unless Russell Wilson really came available and they did like a 1-for-1 swap, which isn't going to happen. I wouldn't lose sleep with that. It would be shocking. But other than that, there's no other option. I've been hearing this is the new thing. I'm not going to change gears too much, but I've been hearing this Zach Wilson train is picking up steam. And everyone's just ready to move off and just jump on a new quarterback. I'm not coming here to denigrate Zach Wilson. I don't know the gentleman. I'm sort of familiar with him. He might be a great player, but you don't cut off your nose to spite your face. Dak Prescott, and first of all, signing Dak Prescott is the best thing we can do for our cap. Because what we've been doing is committing cap suicide by franchise tagging a quarterback, which takes up the hugest chunk. If we would sign him, then we can get creative with the cap and pay him something like 30, then 45, or you can do 33, 34, then you could do 32 one year. You can get real mixed up. Everyone gets hung up on it because no one really pays attention to details. They say we can't pay him 40 a year. We're not franchising him every year. We won't be paying him 40 million exactly a year. That's not how contracts work. But no one really thinks about the logic of the situation, just like everyone just says, well, just trade Dak. Dak's technically not a Dallas Cowboy right now. You can't trade somebody that's not on your roster. I don't know why nobody never pays attention to that. You can tag him, and he just won't sign it. So everybody's like, well, just trade him to Houston. You can't. Because Dak can, if he wanted to be like, play hardball, he could just sit out like Le'Veon Bell, come in week 10, get his 6 games, and get his credit for the season. It just is what it is. If he wants to play hard, if the Cowboys want to play hardball, he doesn't have to sign anything, and he could just wreck our whole season. I don't think it'll go that way, but everyone thinking that Dak Prescott is just like a commodity, like a fully signed player. He's not. That's why Jerry and them messed this up so bad, because they're literally in a corner walking around with bravado as if they have the leverage, and they don't. So I don't know. That's just my take. I want to sign him. It'll be great for us. First of all, it'll be great for team morale because obviously everybody on the team is pulling for Dak. But it'll be great for our cap too. And then if they could get it done, then maybe I would discuss more free agency stuff and things like that. But I can't move off this topic because it's the linchpin. I don't want to go too deep into the weeds about we can sign this guy and this guy and this guy. No one wants to sign with us if we can. Like, why would JJ Watt want to come here? Like, you don't even got a quarterback.
Right.
What's going on with them? Like, you sign up as JJ Watt, and then you look up and Zach Wilson's your quarterback. Some young guy that I'm just saying, and then they traded away 3 firsts to get him, and JJ Watt's like, I just signed up for what? A rebuild? Like, so no real free agent is even thinking about coming here until we can clean our house. We need to clean up our own mess before we can start with some new stuff. So anyway,
right.
I can go for hours. This is why I keep making videos on the same topic, because until we get that figured out, it's hard to really dwell into who we taking at 10. You know, it's just hard to really nail like, I know what we need, but if they say they really get, like, say forget it, we're taking a quarterback, then I feel like I'll be wasting my, and it's possible. I don't put nothing past. So I don't know. I'm sorry.
Right. And I mean, no, you're good. I mean, look, and I've fundamentally felt that Dak really should have been signed after 2018. That is the year you should have signed him, because you were looking at, and this is the problem I have with people when I have this discussion with the Madden fans of the Cowboys fan base. And in case you're wondering what I mean by that, people think you can plug and play any goddamn quarterback here, and it works. Like, no, that's not how it works, man. You got to think about morale. You got to think about all the fit. All that stuff goes into it. Dak Prescott's your best shot right now in terms of the options you have available. You can't, like, if you want to go get a guy in the draft, the only 2 guys I'm comfortable getting are Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence. You're not in position to get those guys because those guys are going top 2. You're not in that position. So you don't give me we can take Trey Lance, which basically
They better not.
No, they better not, because I would not spend a top 10 pick on him. Sorry, not sorry, but you're going to have someone that's going to take a quarterback like a Justin Fields or a Trey Lance because they need a quarterback. Like, I wouldn't get, and that's just me personally.
To get Wilson, we got to give up assets.
Exactly.
All the people that are complaining about, well, if you sign Dak, we're using too many assets. But no, give up all your assets for a rookie. And then all of your current players, by the time he gets good enough to take you somewhere, will be too old and we'll be resetting.
Exactly. And right. And that's the problem I have is, like, people don't understand that Dak Prescott has all of the leverage. I don't care if he got hurt. In fact, when he got hurt, more leverage went into his camp because his team can say, listen, you guys were in no position to win games without Mike Klein on the football field. Sure, you won a couple games without him on the football field, but think about it. Were you in any way, shape, or form that much better than what you might be saying yourself out to? You know what I mean? Like, the Joneses have this history of trying to push things till the last minute because they always want to win at negotiating. This happened every single time since I can last remember. Sean Lee, DeMarcus Lawrence, Ezekiel Elliott, all these people that want their money, the Joneses want to play hardball. Now, me personally,
I think it's the Joneses. I think it's Steven.
Oh, easily. Jerry listen.
Because I think Jerry loose with his money. I feel like Jerry he'd have been signed Dak. If he slightly like you back in the day, he giving you a contract.
Oh, yeah.
It's Steven. He's a lot more frugal than Jerry. And I got to get used to it because he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. 1980, real quick, chime in. Like, how do you feel about this whole contract situation? What's going on?
I think it's full of BS. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. They need to go ahead and sign Dak. Dak's our quarterback. Why go back to the drawing board when you already have something there with experience with the team and the playbook and everything? Dak has put in time and work with this team. He's put his body and himself on the line for this team. Go ahead and take care of your man. See, that's what the Dallas Cowboys need to learn how to do. Take care of the people that's got you in the position that you're in. Dak Prescott has done what he's supposed to do to get a big-time contract. There's no question that he's not a good quarterback. He is. Dak will develop to be a superstar quarterback. We just, as fans, we have to allow it, give it time. It takes time. Quarterbacks don't grow on trees. Running back, you can find anybody that can run through a hole. If you have a good offensive line, I can get back there at 40 years old and run the ball. running backs grow on trees. Quarterbacks don't grow on trees. You're not going to just get anybody in the draft. Everybody wants to win now. It's been 25 years, guys. 26 years, matter of fact. 26 years now. We don't have time to keep going back to the drawing board. We're not in a rebuild process. We've been in a rebuild process for 20-something years, so we're not in that category. We don't need to go back to a new quarterback and start over again. And quarterbacks run the offense.
It's not that easy, neither.
Whatever music, you have to dance to the beat of their drum. If you got a rookie in there that don't know what they're doing, guess what? Your rhythm is going to be off too. That girl going to stop dancing with you because you don't know what you're doing. Dak Prescott is the quarterback. Go ahead and get the deal done. Quit lollygagging around. The Dallas Cowboys have done this for years, guys. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. Dragging things out, dragging these contracts out. Look at the Zeke situation. Dragging. So everybody, it's money. They keep talking about him. Get the ratings, yada, yada. It's a sales. Everything is sales with Jerry Jones. He's a salesman. He's a master salesman. He's better than these damn car salesmen that's on the TVs and all that stuff. He's a million times better than them. He was raised to be a salesman. His dad was a salesman. His granddad was a salesman. That's just how he is. We need to get Dak signed. I'm tired of it. I don't want Russell Wilson. I don't want Russell Wilson. I want Dak Prescott because he's still young. Everybody's acting like Dak Prescott is 30-something years old and he's on his last leg. The boy is still young, man. Let's get out here. Amari Cooper had a good year. We got offense. All we need to draft is defense. Quit trying to bring these offensive guys. We don't need no quarterback. We got Dak Prescott. Let's stop talking about that. Let's go ahead and end that discussion now. We don't need anybody else. If they let Dak go, it'll be real stupid. We'll be starting back over, and it'll be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10, maybe 20 more years of losing. And we let another one get away. Another one bites the dust. We letting all these guys get away to other teams, and they going to the Super Bowl. Ain't you getting tired of that? We should all be getting tired of that.
1980.
It's getting old. What's up?
I got a question for you. You've been around, obviously. I've been around too, because I ain't that young. What people seem to remember or seem to forget is that they used to crucify Tony too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know who they think about to walk through that door that's not going to get. I remember the 3 8-8s back to back and how people used to say, get Tony out of here.
Mm-hmm.
They just couldn't wait. I remember people getting excited that Tony got hurt because of the chances of, well, maybe we can bring somebody else in here.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Who was in the Super Bowl this past Super Bowl?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Because of defense.
Oh, yeah, we know.
Because of defense. That defense carried that team. You had a guy with not even all of his fingers leading the defensive line. We get a good defense in here. Defense wins championships. Tom Brady didn't win that championship. That defense did.
But you know what?
Because you know why?
Defense
gives you, your quarterback, the opportunity to get back out there and do something with the ball. We haven't had a good defense in decades.
But you see how those to your point, you see how the players play. I feel like our defense came into this year. When you feel like you got a great quarterback, I feel like you play lazier sometimes.
Right.
I feel like our defense didn't start playing better until they had to, because there was nobody else walking through that door.
Right.
When I listen to some of the defensive players from Tampa get their interviews after the Super Bowl, yeah, Tom Brady had nothing to do with the defense, but Tom Brady brought them bravado.
Exactly.
And Dak Prescott brings the same bravado.
Yeah.
I watched the team literally crumble when he got hurt because they was like, so now what?
It's a wrap.
Yeah,
exactly. Mm-hmm.
And when he walks back through that door, they're going to conversely be more like, okay, we back now. Because I don't care what nobody say. They didn't feel like that. They played with Dalton. They played with Gilbert and DiNucci, but they never felt really excited or confident that we could win any game. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like you're saying, when Dak comes back, because I'm gonna just speak it into existence, he's gonna bring that spark back to the team that got killed. Because as much as we want to say, well, Dak always playing from behind, truth be told, if they would just give Dak a half a defense, he wouldn't have to play from behind.
Yeah. Exactly, and that's the thing I try to tell people is like if you look at those first 5 games he played, if the defense shows up at least even once or twice in each of those games, we're 4-1.
And
Dak
you
put,
rewatch them?
huh?
I've rewatched those games because I haven't had
Yeah.
nothing else to do.
Hmm.
And the irony is, we were in the Rams game. We know how that game ended,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
We came back and beat Atlanta, and he was in a hell of a hole. Not his fault. Then in the Browns game, we were leading.
Hmm.
We were leading in that game. Everyone acts like we just got blown off the field because Dak couldn't score. We were winning 14-7 before
How many points did the Browns have?
Before the 2 back-to-back fumbles. I think 48. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
know,
it was 50 or 48, 50 something. I don't remember. Like it was just
like,
you got to stop somebody. You have to stop somebody to win games.
We took the lead in the Seattle game, but they couldn't stop Russ in the last drive. We took the lead in the Seattle, and in the Giants game when Dak got hurt, we were up. But people don't like it's revisionist history. They act like every game we came out, we was down by 30 before Dak started to move the ball, and it's just lies. It's just lies.
And it's like this is the thing that also irritates me is like some people will look at like I don't understand it. Like some people will be like, "Oh, like look at all these other games that Dak did terrible," and I'm like, "Okay, well, if you want to play that game, I can go like, okay, like there was a game. I forget what happened last year, but like there was a game where literally the entire freaking offense was hurt, and you're like, oh well, Dak he's the quarterback yet. I'm like, no, man, this is a team sport. You can't be doing that bullshit.
And they just don't acknowledge it when he had the AC joint injury,
bro. Like, yeah, and it's like you don't give me that bullshit where you're like, oh well, like because it's either one or two things. It's either it's all on Dak or no, it's just the team wasn't that. It's like no, you can't be doing that to me. And so for me, getting back to this topic of conversation, Dak's your guy. All you're doing is just increasing his price tag the longer you wait. And I don't give a damn what anyone else says. He's the guy. If you want to, listen, I'm 22, going on 23 this year, okay? Not seeing a championship or NFC championship, none of that crap. People my age, not saying me specifically, absolutely not, but there are people my age that are getting fed up. And they've told me, square up, people that I'm close friends with, family, they said they F up this contract situation and Dak walks. I'm not going to bother putting money into this team anymore. I'm not even going to bother supporting the team anymore. And that's the problem. Jerry and Steven don't, and I know they understand this because they're paying attention. They know if they let Dak walk, he's their biggest moneymaker. That's why I think he'll be back. You know what I mean?
Try to call this bluff though. They think that this is poker and it's not. This is real life. And it's just silly to me because they're going to wake up, and I'm not trying to speak nothing bad. They're going to wake up, and we're really not going to have Dak. And they're going to have to look, because what they're doing is they're playing this game where he knows it. It's like we're the Dallas Cowboys. There's no way possible he would consider someone else. Yes, he will.
Yeah.
Oh,
he will go somewhere, and he will win, and we'll be like, well, we got Mac Jones because we really messed this up, and nobody else is left. And then we're going to be really sitting here discussing next year with a mid-level quarterback or a retread, like, well, we got Derek Carr or something, and we're going to be sitting here disgruntled because our quarterback's going to be somewhere else.
You want to know what's crazy? Someone just mentioned this in my chat. Carlos Holloway, thank you for mentioning this. People don't understand how close Dak was to getting us to our first NFC Championship game in 20-plus years. That 2016 year, if it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers holding on to the freaking ball that much,
that hurt.
That we wouldn't be having this discussion. Yeah, I know. Trust me. But the point I'm trying to get at is Dak has gotten us close. I mean, even in that Rams game when we got blown the hell out, if Dak kept us in the game the whole time, and if the defense makes a couple stops here and there, we could be talking about
a team that get 200+ running.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
What is that going to do?
And
he couldn't even get on the field. He was like, all right, they just gonna run the ball.
I don't want to go on forever with this topic because we're all on the same level. We know he's the guy. We know that if you let him walk, not only are you going to kill the fucking morale for this the players and the team, you're going to kill the morale for the fan base. A lot of young people are not going to be sitting around being like, Jerry, listen, it's like, I've said this numerous times in personal conversations and even on Twitter. I said, listen, the Cowboys are the New York Knicks of the NFL. They really are. They really are, and you might be. Hey, it's just they're. And I mean, I hate to say that, but it's the truth. And it's like, if you want to go ahead and I say, listen, if you want to play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes. So I don't want them to mess around with this contract. Get Dak signed and let's move on so we can talk about other stuff. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and talk about some other stuff. So obviously Dak's the biggest free agent we have. That's no ifs, ands about that. But we do have some other free agents we do have to talk about. That's starting with the list of free agents we have. Now, a lot of these guys have their, they have their own value to the team. You have two your starting corners hitting free agency. You have a starting safety hitting free agency. I'm not saying I'm not saying these guys should all come back or they should all go. All I'm saying is hey, this is the situation you're in. So you got to think about, okay, I got to replace a possible starting center or a backup center at this point. I got to replace a couple guys on my defensive line, my linebackers. So I'll go around and ask. I'll start with 1980. 1980, if you had to bring back two free agents out of the entire list of guys that, like, only two guys, you can only bring back two guys. Let's not include Dak, okay? Because we know Dak, that's a given.
That's default.
But if you had to bring back two guys, who would they be?
What's the list?
Okay, so I was going to say, so you got Tyrone Crawford, Sean Lee, Andy Dalton, Cameron Irving, Joe Looney, Alden Smith, Blake Bell, LP. He doesn't need that much money.
LP don't count either.
Yeah, he doesn't count either.
Right.
Joe Thomas, both Cheeto and Jordan Lewis, CJ Goodwin, Just March Lillard. I know it's a lot of freaking players. Antoine Woods, Xavier Woods, Noah Brown, and Cedric Wilson.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, it's a lot. And I think that luckily for us.
I'll give you three off the top.
Okay, go ahead.
Xavier, no, not Xavier Woods. I'm sorry. I was thinking who I don't want there. I would bring back Cheeto if we can get him, because Cheeto's not a bad player. I would bring back Cheeto. I would bring back Cedric Wilson, absolutely, and I would bring back Alden Smith if we don't, not necessarily be a starter, but Alden Smith I don't think is necessarily trying to break the bank neither. I think we built some type of loyalty with him, and he's definitely a reputable defensive player to have on your team. I'm not saying you should think you could build that like a starting DN, but he's definitely a good rotational player. So out of everyone you named, those are the three. But Cheeto would be at the top. I think Cheeto could be our second corner if we had to. Now, would I go after Patrick Peterson and things like that? Absolutely. I'm not crazy, because having Cheeto and the other two corners with Diggs getting his, I would say he's still got a lot to learn. He's a great talent, but I'm not saying Diggs is a shutdown corner right now. I'm not crazy.
Not right now. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I think bringing in a Cheeto, bringing in a veteran, and maybe filling out the rest of the roster with other maybe free agent corners, because I don't want to bring back majority of the secondary. I feel like we need to maybe switch out some people. And with our coaching staff, they said Witt Jr. has coached a lot around the league. He has some ideas on some free agents that are coming on the market that he's worked with before, and he knows their technique that we might be able to bring in, because new faces, they're not necessarily married to. We got to bring back Xavier Woods and stuff like that, so they won't be opposed to bringing in some new faces. Yeah, exactly,
and that's what I think. I think that when you added a guy like Dan Quinn here and the guys that he's brought along, I think it was only Joe Witt, and there's someone else I forget off the top of my head, unfortunately. But I understand that what's his face, Rod Marinelli, he did have say in who we drafted, most definitely. So if Dan Quinn,
he was in that war room. He was in that war room too.
Yeah. So if Dan Quinn is going to have that same role as Rod Marinelli did, I have faith that he's a guy that will push for safeties. He's a guy that will push for players that we need, not this, okay, we run a 4-3. I don't want a linebacker like a TJ Watt, which, keep in mind, I'm still hurt on that because he was my pet cat coming out of that draft. I was pissed still. So I definitely agree. I think those are the guys you want to try and bring back. I mean, 1980.
I like Cheeto. I would love to. I agree with the Cheeto thing. What the hell is this on the screen? Okay. I like Cheeto. I want to say Joe Looney. I like Joe Looney as well, because he's a swing guy. He can do different things. He don't mind. He don't mind coming off the bench, and he don't mind taking what he can get. Money wise. So I've always liked Joe Looney, and he's good enough to be a replace guy, and he's done a hell of a job as a starter. Not all world, but he's done a hell of a job as a starter too, stepping in for Travis Frederick when he went down. Everybody else has pretty much been disappointed. I wanted to say Jordan Lewis, but his head isn't there yet. That penalty in the Giants game when he headbutted the guy after the damn whistle,
and he thought it was funny.
Really blew my mind. That was one of the reasons why we lost that game. I really want to pass on him. Joe Thomas has done some okay things. I think I just got two, man. I think I just got two because our new defensive coordinator, he's got a lot of work to do. And we don't want to give him too many guys. We don't want to bring too many guys back with those bad habits. With those bad habits. We need fresh guys in here. Maybe one or two like Cheeto, but we need fresh guys in here because a lot of those guys have those bad habits. We don't need guys saying, we can't go 100% every down. It's impossible to do that. We don't need that. We don't need that. That's unacceptable. You shouldn't even be in the NFL playing for any team with that type of mentality. We got to get rid of these old habits. He's got a lot of work to do because a lot of fundamental, not just with the secondary, as a defense in a whole. Whoever we draft to bring in here, wrapping up basic fundamentals, basic tackling. So before we get to even the draft, we got to teach the guys. That's under contract how to tackle again because there's a lot of missed tackles. Fundamentals have been just swooped out of the window. It's like the coaches, they teach everything else. They teach scheme, but they don't work on fundamentals. I don't know. If I'm wrong, prove it to me because what I'm seeing is the same mistakes over and over and over again every game. Every game. Not just one game, not just two games, every game. So
did y'all see
I just got two. Quote? You said what?
You saw Darius Leonard's quote from the Colts?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what we need.
What did he say? I didn't see it. What did he say?
So basically, he was mentioning, if any free agent is interested in playing for Indianapolis, more specifically on defense, we don't want quitters here. We don't want anybody coming into our team thinking they're all that. Basically, he wants guys that are going in to work hard and are going to play hard.
Exactly.
That's what you come into the NFL is a privilege. Exactly. It's a privilege. Mm-hmm. Yep. See, Pop Warner, junior high, high school, college, all that stuff, the collegiate level, all that's the hard work. NFL is a privilege. You're getting paid millions of dollars, guys. You're getting paid even if you get paid $500,000, you're still making more than most doctors and lawyers out there. Yes, it's a privilege, guys. You work, you earn to be there. See, just like Jimmy, I have to go back to Jimmy Johnson because he's the last real coach we had besides Parcells. You every year, I don't give a damn if we won the Super Bowl or not. We should start the season off like we're 1-15. Let's start the season off like we're 1-15. Because if you let these guys, especially the new generation, the internet, the social media generation, the push a button and they got the answers generation, especially that. These are the guys that need to really be brought back down to reality. They need to be brought back down to reality. I never forget I had a defensive coach. His name was Coach Johnson. I had got a pick and ran in for a touchdown. I came to him looking for gratitude on the sideline. He barely looked my way. And I was like, well, damn, I just got a pick. I just scored off the pick. And I still didn't get no good job or nothing like that. So that lead me with the mind frame. I was like, I got to do something to top that. I got to do something. It's psychological. You let these guys get out here and hot dog and bullshit and pussy fit over these contracts and stuff that haven't won nothing. They've already won.
Dancing at every tackle.
They haven't even won nothing yet. And
dancing at every tackle.
And we fall for it too.
Yeah. Exactly.
This is what we're talking about. The fan base is fall for it too. Don't pay this guy. Don't pay that guy. Oh, give him his money. Get his money. What? We shouldn't even be talking about this because we haven't won anything. What if we won? We haven't won not one Super Bowl in the past two decades. 2 decades, man. So why are we talking about why the hell are we making videos? Why the hell are we doing mock drafts and all this shit and talking about Dak Prescott, talking about the old boy from the Houston Texans with the messed up arm, talking about Russell Wilson and his wife Sierra and all that stuff? Why are we talking about paying these guys when we can't even pay Dak Prescott? We can't get the job done with that. It just don't make sense. We haven't won anything yet. And these guys that play for the Cowboys, they think they winning. They sitting back, they on Twitter and stuff, sitting on the couch with their dogs, Ezekiel Elliott, like they done won 2 or 3 Super Bowls. Jerry Rice, right after they won the Super Bowl, was out there running routes by himself.
Running hills, catching bricks.
After a Super Bowl. See, these young folks, they don't know nothing about that. Hey, man, I won a Super Bowl, man. I'm about to go get my drink on.
Brady already throwing.
Routes.
Brady already throwing.
After the Super Bowl.
After the Super Bowl, he already threw and he was throwing this week.
Are you kidding me? So why are we talking about contracts? Why? Can you look in the mirror? Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, D-Law. Can you honestly think you deserve the contract? Hell no. We like them, but if you really want to get technical about the shit, neither one of them deserve it. Not even Ezekiel Elliott.
That's real.
But this is the society in the world we live in right now. This is the easy. Oh, let's talk about contract. Wait a minute. What? No, we just lost. Jimmy Johnson on the plane. No, we just lost. Don't feed them. They don't need feed them. Right. No. They don't need a meal. Right. Let them go home hungry because we just lost. You got to make it to where it's hard for them to please you. Because if they please you, you can't give them a spanking and then give them some McDonald's after.
Oh, yeah, you can't be nice early.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's parenting right there. You can't be nice
Jordan Lewis penalty, remember that? Guess where he was right after that? Out on the damn field. For what? His ass wouldn't have saw that game no more. But see, they don't know nothing about that. They too scared to do that.
Afraid of discipline.
Because they scared of old boy upstairs. Fuck that, man. I don't give a damn if 105.3 to listening, Mike Fisher, whoever is watching this video, I can say it. I don't work for Dallas Cowboys. God damn it. There is no discipline in Dallas, and that's why we've been losing for 26 years. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get a quarterback that's been winning with New England, and for 1 year, they win. Because you know why? They put all that bullshit aside.
They said Brady
we
came
falling
in.
for that. We following right along with it. We coming right along with it. We making the videos. We doing the mock drafts. We doing the film sessions and all this shit. For what? Has any of that helped us? Has it worked us? It ain't our place. It's their place. It's their job.
Yeah,
but it's good to get on here. I'm not knocking what we're doing. I'm not knocking what any Dallas Cowboys YouTubers doing. But do your thing, whatever. But look at what you're supporting.
Yeah.
Look at what we're supporting. Now they got us because we love the Cowboys. We love football. They got us. Here, I'm sitting here cold and shivering and shit. My light and power's off and all this shit off and on. I ain't got no water. But look at what I'm talking about. I'm talking about with the best right here, Space Cowboy and Rome. I'm talking Cowboys football because I being cold and shivering, I'm still talking about the Cowboys. So we need to be reimbursed on winning. Because all this bullshit, you got your money, man. Okay, it's been 20-some years. It's time. I'm sorry, guys. Y'all go ahead and shit.
You're good, bro.
Hey, because you know what? I just wish my channel too small. I just hope that they need to hear this.
Right.
You know, they need to hear this. And I know the players be faking the funk. They know about most of the channels. They hear this. They don't like looking in the mirror, though. What you're saying is it's hard to... Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm 37. I ain't that young. So I did see some of the glory years. You know, I was real young, but it is what it is. You can't just keep walking around acting like everything is rosy when it's not. The team has been just good enough to keep us checked in. We've never been bad enough for the fan base to check out. We've been just good enough so you can lie to yourself. And that's what we've been doing.
What you saying that? See, that's what I've been talking about. You see, the other YouTubers on here, they can't say too much because why? Because why? They think they big time. See, they done already got in their head. Jared done already got in their head. You see what I'm saying? They too big time. They not gonna tell you what's really going on. I'm gonna tell you what's really going on because I got a day job. I got a family. I don't need this shit. I don't need this shit to make it. I don't need this shit. I'm okay. I do it to talk Cowboys, but that's it. This ain't my livelihood, man. I
Yes,
get on
sir.
here because of love. If I didn't make no money on this, I wouldn't give a damn. I'd still be on here talking shit. But I guarantee you, if YouTube if they just took away monetization, I guarantee you half the motherfuckers that's big time, that think they big time, they wouldn't be on here no more. Because it's putting money in their pocket too. See, they Jerry Jones too, but they just don't realize.
$1. So that's why I just talk. I ain't made a dollar.
And the thing I have is like with people in my
preaching tonight. You gotta let them know.
Yeah, and the thing is, and this is what's terrible, people in my age bracket that have not seen that, it's already ingrained. Like I have said, and I will say this verbatim until something changes, the Dallas Cowboys are a country club franchise. They just want to keep you involved. They want to make sure that you're pampered and all that other shit so that they make sure that they make bottom dollar. Okay? And I know for damn well and my thing is that I've only seen 3 playoff wins, or actually, 3 playoff wins in my life. Think about that. That's really embarrassing. And not only that, last time we went back to the playoffs, back-to-back years, 2006, 2007. Last time we won the division back-to-back, 1994, 1995. Or 1995, 1996, excuse me. So you see
Cowboy. How long you been a Cowboys fan?
Probably since I started watching the team since 2005.
Okay. What's that? 20 years?
Yeah.
26. I'll give you 26.
Yeah.
That old girlfriend, you've been giving that old girlfriend a chance for 26 years. You know that old cheating girlfriend? That's what the Cowboys are.
Yes, sir.
That old girlfriend that we keep letting in the door. They done cheated on us time out. I made a live stream about this topic. Time after time. We've been letting this cheating girlfriend or this cheating husband, if we got any viewers that are female, you've been letting them back in your door. They cheated on you, keep cheating on you. You've been we've all been letting them back in. We've been letting them back in. When are we going to just stop letting them in? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But we can't do that because we love them so much. The Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones, they're that old girlfriend that we can't get rid of.
But yeah.
You know what's funny though? I really feel like in life, there's always a breaking point. And I know this sounds silly to put it on a person. I'm telling you, it's like what you said earlier, Space. This contract situation, it's a lot of people that are really like, all right, they might jump ship. I don't think I could jump ship because I'm too far gone. I'd be really mad. I'm too far gone. But there are some people that don't have the allegiance to the team like I do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, listen, listen, man, I'm telling you, if there is a group of people, especially younger fans like me, we are probably not me specifically. I'm just saying, if there is some group of people that are the closest to jumping ship, it's people my age. You know, like I could probably I don't give a shit what anyone says at this point. Listen, man, if they mess up this whole shit, I will be so fucking pissed that I will not watch the team in 2021. That's how mad I would be. I've never gotten that far. Ever.
Basketball, people root for players now. It's not like it used to be.
And that's the thing, man.
People getting close to, I'm telling you, these quarterbacks start moving around, they're gonna start rooting for the laundry. They're gonna start rooting for players.
I'm telling you, man.
It's silly to me because I'm too old now. I can't do it. But I wouldn't be shocked if the ratings as soon as the ratings on the Cowboys drop, they gonna start listening.
Yeah.
I'd be like, shit, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Keep fucking around, Jerry. No, we're not listening. You know what I mean?
They already look. Didn't they move us last year?
Yeah.
Now look. Now end up with Marcus Mariota as your starting quarterback, and we won't be on no primetime games.
Right.
Listen, man. Listen, man. I'm telling you, fuck around and find out. That's all I'm saying, man. You don't want to find out what's going to happen when people my age are sick and tired, and we're going to throw all our crap out of the. Not me again, because I think I'm a bit too far. Maybe I don't know. Because I might get. Listen. Shit hits the fan, I'm probably not gonna. See, this is the crazy thing. The fact I have to have this conversation, and us as a whole have to have this conversation, is egregious. I shouldn't be having to have a conversation where I'm like, why am I even bothering possibly not even watching the team next year if they can't get this shit straight? And it's not because people will tell me, and people my age, oh, you're just doing it because you're a bandwagon or this, that, and that. You know why?
Because for what? We ain't won nothing.
like, first off, there's that. Number two, last time I checked, the only two things that probably kept people my age, and this is me growing up, the only reason that I was able to get into that was because of Tony Romo. If Tony Romo's not on this team, I'm probably not even making Cowboys videos. And you might be saying to yourself, oh, that's fucking ridiculous. No, it's true. You got to understand, people my age are completely different nowadays. You know, and I had to self-reflect on that. I didn't think about that until this entire situation started up. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I hate the bandwagon thing. This ain't the early 2000s when that could have, it was 6 or 7 years ago when we won a chip. There's no bandwagon for what? We haven't won in so long. Actually, it's admirable to be a Cowboys fan because it's like, yo, you holding on for real? Like, I don't know, like, what are they giving us to be excited about? The one thing we do like, they dangling that in front of us. Like, you like this quarterback? We just might switch him on you. Like, I don't know what. Like, they don't want to give us nothing.
I guarantee you, like, you're going to see a bunch of freaking, I don't know, let's just say Dak goes to the freaking Colts. You're going to see a bunch of new Colts fans coming up, bro. And then you're going to see, Jared, I guarantee you, they're not going to do shit until the ratings change. And they know if they let Dak walk, they're screwed. They know that. And I know, not to go back into that, but
I see how easy it is to keep going back to it?
Right.
I try to not talk about it too.
Right. It's just like, dude, I want to talk about, like, I've been doing the mock drafts on my channel because I feel the Cowboys are positioned to really fix this roster up. If you give yourself Dak Prescott, then all you got to do is get a couple pieces here and there, and we're talking about, okay, this team's going on the right track. Because, listen, I'll tell you, Jason Garrett was almost a crew day, that was the first one. I said, if Jason Garrett's coming back, no Cowboys videos for me for the rest of the year. Thank God they kicked him off the curb. If they mess this thing up with Dak, man, that's going to be a problem too. Because you're basically – sorry, go.
This is a good question. 1980. You heard about Lyle Collins?
Oh, you're muted, bro.
I haven't heard it.
They said that Lyle Collins, it was a story that came out, and his agent came right out like immediately and was like, that's not true. They said he was contemplating retirement because they said that he doesn't like the grind of football, and that injury really set him back because he was already out of shape. And basically, there's whispers of him just saying, I don't know if I want to keep playing. Right? And your agent, of course, your agent's going to come up like, nah, that's not true. But if your agent came out to say something, that means that where there's smoke, there's some fire. And it makes me mad because, and I know this is one topic that's not about Dak, so I figured I would introduce it.
Perfect.
But that's another person that got money that ain't living up to it. It's just another one. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They got he ain't get the max for a right tackle, fine, but he got decent money.
Yeah,
and he's never played a down since he got paid. He hasn't played a down. You got Jalen Smith, who got paid and ain't live up to his deal. I'm on the fence with D-Law because D-Law he gives effort. I will give him that.
Yeah.
They're just not earning it. He ain't quite doing what I would want him to do, but I can't hate on D-Law. He actually really be out there putting in effort. Mm-hmm. And Tyron Smith, I mean, if your neck's messed up, your neck's messed up. When he's out there, he earns every cent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Lyle Collins to come back out of shape.
Wow.
To get in a car accident, probably doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing. And then the grind of coming back makes you consider retirement. You told somebody that, they just leaked it. And then your agent had to come out, because you could Google it. It was like 2 days ago. And it just makes me mad. I'm like, we got players sitting there talking about, damn, the whole grind of football. Because you feeling yourself because you just got paid.
Yeah.
And I hope you know that if he does retire, they're coming back for every dime.
Right. That's what's scary. Well, you know what's scary? What's scary with Lyle is that I was trying to do a video on the situation that was coming together, but I was kind of thinking about it. I'm like, well, if he retires or he's not, or the hip injury screws him up, so now he's not even worth the money.
You got to go live.
That's why going to the draft talk. My
1980s floored.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be shit. But for me, I don't care what anyone says. offensive line is your pick at 10 if they are there.
Yeah.
You have to take either Sewell or Slater if they happen to be. If they're both not there, okay, try to trade down or you take the best defensive player. But
if they're not there, I had a theory that it might not make sense. But I was thinking, I know you're thinking about
that changes the whole trajectory of the fucking draft now.
Yeah, and it's serious. It's a real story. I didn't make that up.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah. I was thinking, I was like, okay, so say Chase falls to us and the tackles are gone. Because for the tackles to be gone, then that means one of those players are going to fall to us, right? Would you take Chase and then leverage Michael Gallup for a defensive player?
I would.
I would. And it's not a slight to Michael Gallup. It's just like, okay, I couldn't get my defender that high.
Yeah.
Go get an established defender.
And not only that, I think it's also you got to think about it this way. Michael Gallup's going to go get paid wherever he goes. He's going to get paid. And we're not paying him.
Oh, no.
Yeah, right. So the thing is sure, I completely understand. Someone will be like, why in the flying hell would you take a receiver at 10 because ultimately
you definitely could trade after that.
Think about it. You're going to get a proven commodity for a guy that you already have that you're not going to pay. So would you rather get a fourth, like between third or fifth round compensation pick, or can I trade him to, hypothetically, let's say the Jets for a Quinnen Williams, or even if it's not him, some other impact player on the defensive side of the ball?
You can get somebody to trade you Michael Gallup for a good defender. I have no doubt.
And exactly.
And if you get a Chase, or I'm just throwing a really great name that you're like, all right, I can't pass up on Jamar Chase. And you got him, you got a reset on a rookie contract. You still got CD, who you can move out to because he can play wide.
We got depth, yeah.
And I'm just saying, odd man out would be we can't move Amari because he got too much money.
Oh no.
So it would be. And Gallup
he had a really good year last year. He really did.
Gallup is good enough to demand the deep. We could just like look Gallup and you get a good throw a pick in if you want to, a comp pick and go get an established defender. Because sometimes some positions on defense you want somebody to have some, some experience. So that's my only thought. If we don't, because of course, I would take the tackle too. Because one of our tackles is talking about retiring.
If you're in that mindset, it's pretty much
Bill Parcells said. Yeah, Bill Parcells. Yep, that's what Bill Parcells says. If you're thinking about retirement, you're already retired. So
he's thinking about retirement.
How old is Collins? 26?
He's 28, I think. 28, 29.
But remember, this is when I started doing research. They said before he got drafted, they said that he had issues with working hard as far as like conditioning.
He did.
Right.
Yep.
He's always been naturally talented. Coaches wouldn't before the criminal stuff, coaches wouldn't speak on his conditioning, trying to help him with his draft stock. But then he fell out of the draft because he got tied up in that murder stuff or whatever it was. Not to misquote it. When we got a steal. But the conditioning part got lost in the weeds, and now it's coming back to rear its head. Like, I'm naturally talented, but some, in 1980, that rubber meets the road in the NFL. You got to work hard, or that natural talent you get past real quick.
Yeah. Right, exactly. And that's the biggest thing for me is like if you had a coaching staff, and I'm going back to this. If you had a coaching staff that can coach the hell out of, because I remember when we had this, like a couple of years ago, like that special, whoever we had as our strengthening and conditioning coordinator, like I remember people talking about what the hell's going on there? What's with all the hamstring crap? What's going on with? Because I remember when Dez was having that stuff early on, people were complaining about that too. Yeah. So for me, it's like I think the problem is with the Cowboys and this is why I'm not. Yeah, it's that. It's the
freaking himself too much. I don't got to work hard.
Yeah,
they done already won.
And that's the problem is that I don't know what's going to happen with this coaching staff. I can't say for certain because it's 1 year. I need about another year or two to fully say, okay, I think this is going in the right direction or not. Because for me with Jason Garrett, like if going with what happened with him, sure, you can argue in the first 5 years he did, okay, cool. He put himself in position to stand a third. Then in the next 5 years, I would argue he should have been gone after 2017. Easily. Should have been gone, given what happened. And they keep
member of the country club, bro.
Yeah, exactly. He was the freaking VIP member. He wasn't
going nowhere.
No, he wasn't just the VIP. He was like I know I'm friends with the family that owned the country club, which obviously is. And that's the problem, is the fact that And people were like, well, what about Mike McCarthy? Listen, I'll admit, is he an upgrade? Yeah, I do think so. I'm not saying it's like, oh my God, it's like up to here. But I think that ultimately you did a very damn good job for this first draft with Mike McCarthy.
I didn't hate his job this year. I think
I wasn't pissed. I wasn't pissed. I think that a lot of us got pissed because of shit that happened when we were losing. But when you really look at it, you can argue the Cowboys could be 8-8 with how games certain like. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if Dak was healthy, this team would definitely not have been 6-10.
We'd have won 10 games.
Oh, yeah. I definitely think that.
And I'm being bare minimum.
But, yeah, I definitely do believe that Mike McCarthy did a much better job than Jason Garrett probably would have done. Easily.
We just swept Philly. Like, if we had, come on, the DiNucci and the Garrett Gilbert game, those are wins. So that's 8-8 right there. Because that's not even fair. We was playing with Garrett Gilbert at one point. Like, it's not even like... And no disrespect to him, but that's not fair. Like, with our defense, and we still were in those games.
Right.
If we had Dak in those games, we'd been 10-6 easy. Now I don't know what will happen after that, but we definitely would have made the playoffs. It just is what it is.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing, man. Is like I've always said, before you can walk, you need to learn how to crawl, and then before you can run, you need to learn how to walk. So for me, I need Mike McCarthy to continue, and also I need fucking Will McClay, and I need just Steven and Jared to just go on the yacht. Just sit on the yacht. Let your scouts do their thing because this last draft you had was pretty good for what you got in the value.
No, we did. You're right. You're right.
And if you can replicate that again, cool. But I need free agents that will be impact players. My two guys that I needed for free agency, or rather that I got from free agency, Poe and McCoy. I can't blame McCoy because people get hurt. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like, listen, he was playing hard. He hurt himself in practice. That happens. You know, and I understand he has like that whole injury, whatever. Poe, I don't know what the hell you're doing eating Whataburger 5 times a week. I don't know what the fuck you were doing. But, bro, get the hell out of here. And it was just such a waste of money. And that's the problem. When two of your guys that you signed in free agency, your two key guys, are not playing, you're going to have some freaking problems. So I think Jared McCoy will be back on like a cheaper deal. I think the Cowboys will.
I wouldn't mind them bringing in Sue.
Me neither. I wouldn't mind. Man,
I wouldn't mind that either, but
I like his attitude. I know it's a horrible attitude, but that's what I need.
Yeah,
He's
Team Toxic. I need Team Toxic on this freaking team.
You know, I wouldn't mind bringing in Sue, and I wouldn't mind them bringing in like a veteran corner. Of course, I think I want Peterson first, but I wouldn't even mind Sherman if they would bring him in as a veteran presence. Like, don't do what Dallas usually does and like bring him in and be like, that's corner number 2. I'm like, all right, no, that's not what I was talking about. Like, if you bring in Sherman and he's like a veteran presence and you can bring him in like some nickel packages and stuff like that.
Yeah, dime, yeah.
I'm cool with that. But if you try to bring in Sherman and say, well, we don't need Cheeto because we bargained basement shopping, it's going to burn us.
Mm-hmm.
You can't like
these guys want big time money though, and we don't put a lot of stock into, especially defensive players, especially secondary guys. That's the only thing. So I don't.
Right.
No one's even gonna think about us if we don't do what we gotta do.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that and you know it's the thing, and I know
Sue because he only out for money. Sue a murderer.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You over $2 million, he'll come.
But for me, man, I've always said that, and I've heard other people say this. If you have a franchise quarterback, especially one that's young, and considering how long quarterbacks are playing till, you have a chance every single year. That's all I want. If you have a guy like a Dak Prescott or whoever the hell that can can control the ship, steer the ship, and can give you a chance every year. Like, for example, we know, okay, we have the weapons. This offensive line needs some touching up. I definitely think that Tyler, he needs to, hopefully he'll be fully healthy next year. If it were me,
I like Tyler.
Yeah, I like Tyler too. I thought I wanted him. I'm so glad the Cowboys got him because I think he's a future starter, obviously, and I think that he will definitely be at a very good level. So you got your center now, assuming that he's still good. At left guard, still got questions. Do I bring back Connor Williams or Connor McGovern? I want Connor McGovern as my left guard.
Yeah.
I need him as my left guard. Listen, as a Penn State fan, if you think being a Cowboys fan, Penn State fan, 20 times worse. But when I watched him at Penn State, he definitely has that build for a guard that I like. So I want him as my left guard. So, and I'm not sure. I had a tweet on this. So let's say hypothetically, Lyell is fine. I know that's not entirely, you know what I mean? But let's just say that, okay? If you get a tackle in this draft, you can plug them at left guard, and now you have Tyron, either Sewell, who in my opinion is going to be probably the next Orlando Patriot. He's that freaking good. Him and Slater are going to be great.
It's 2016 all over again.
Yeah. So you have so you have that left guard that you solidify with that guy there. Center is Tyler. You know who your right guard is in Zach Martin. Right tackle, you have Lyell, right? Now, if Tyron or Lyell fall off a bridge, you can kick whoever you had at left guard, has a year of experience, kick him out to right tackle or left tackle, depending on who retires or whatever. You kick Connor McGovern out to left guard and let him play there, and bam, you got your offense. I'm not saying that's going to solve every issue. I don't want to make it seem like that's a quick fix, but getting an offensive lineman, especially a guy that I can keep for 10 plus years, a good one at that, a generational prospect like him, you can't mess on that. You know,
let's play percentages. Look, we're going to, if we did sign our quarterback, let's just say we woke up tomorrow and they said we signed Dak, and everybody got hyped and made 35,000 videos, or how that works, right? And like, you know, the celebration will be real.
That's the Super Bowl right there.
Prime position at 10 because there's enough receivers, there's that tight end, there's tackles, and then like there's like 3 or 4 quarterbacks people are considering.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's falling to us that ain't supposed to fall to us.
Right.
Someone. It's either going to be one of those tackles, it's going to be, oh, we got a generational tight end, or it's going to be, we got one of these generational receivers. Because someone's going to fall to us. There's too many teams that are in flux at quarterback. Someone's going to move up in front of somebody. It's going to cause a domino effect. After free agency, I'm telling you, we're in a prime. I'm not saying 10 is better than like 4. I'm saying that with all of those picks, someone's going to accidentally let the Cowboys get, like, say somebody like Slater more than Sewell. Or
like the Bengals, for example. Like I think the Bengals are the
And then Chase, Devonta Smith, and Pitts go, and then 3 quarterbacks go, and then you look up and say, well, shit, the Cowboys are going to get one of those tackles because people can't take 2 people in the top 10. We're going to get somebody that we're not supposed to get.
Right,
and
exactly.
But it doesn't work right if we don't sign Dak. Because if we go into this draft and
that's going to totally just
and Zach, you know, everyone's golden goose, and Zach falls to like 7, Jerry's on the phone, and we ain't never gonna see Dak again.
I'm gonna just go like, listen, I love Zach. Listen, man, I love Zach Wilson out of BYU, but holy shit, would I be unbelievably okay? First off, if he gets to 10, that's what the hell. You kind of like
if he gets to like 6 or 7, they'll pull a trigger on a trade.
Oh, bro, if that shit happens, I'm gonna
lose
my fucking
if the
shit.
Jets, like, say the Jets get D Watt, like they're saying, like, you know, D Watson said I would go to the Jets. So say the Jets say, you know what, F it. Let's send them. Let's send our pick down there, right? So the Jets get D Watt, and then the Texans don't take Wilson. You know, they take what's that gentleman's name? Justin Fields or something like that. It's possible because they feel like he fits into the market or something like that, or however that works. And then you look up, and then a couple teams don't need Zach Wilson, and then Jerry's like, oh snap, Zach Wilson is 6. And he calls Atlanta like, oh, who's at 6?
The Eagles. The Eagles are at 6.
And he's, hey, Eagles, I'll give you one of these ones. Y'all look like y'all need picks.
Yeah.
Look, if he can get close to Zach Wilson, you know he'd do it.
Ooh.
Oh, I know.
He'd do it.
Well, this is what I think is going to happen. I think so. This is going to go down one. Bro, this is going to go down one of 2 fucking ways. Okay, so either I need some fucking team to take Zach Wilson, so Jerry doesn't have a Tony Romo boner over this bullshit. That's number 1. Number 2, because I'm looking at the draft right now. I think, to be honest with you, I do think that Zach Wilson is going to go to as of right now. Yes, he will be going to the. They're not going to keep Sam Darnold. I don't think so.
And they ain't taking Justin Fields.
Yeah. So I look at it. I think that the Dolphins are going to take – this is where I think the real draft starts. If they take a receiver, it's on. Because if they take – let's say they take Devontae Smith in this mock draft I'm looking at. And let's say the Falcons – I don't know if they'll take a quarterback. If they do, cool. If they take and then the Bengals. The Bengals are the team I'm looking at. if the Bengals go anywhere but offensive tackle, or if they take Slater, oh hell, I'm willing to trade up to go get Penei Sewell, especially if other teams are looking. You know what I mean? Because,
that's a good pick, though. That's a generational pick right there.
Yeah,
so I'm like, so if for me, if he gets past 5, I don't see Philly taking, just because of how they. Okay, Philly, whatever you do,
you know what Philly want? Philly think that we want the tight end, so they're spiteful.
Oh, they're gonna
take Pitts. They swear we want Pitts,
and they want to get. Well, bro, they're gonna take they might take Pitts because what they're gonna say is, oh, well, if we're keeping Carson, let's get him his security blanket. He had Zach Ertz, so let's go get him his new tight end.
You know what the Pitts connection is? Because the quarterback coach there, that was
yeah, that's yes.
So the offensive coordinator. So they would take, and Pitts is from Philly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's fine. Take the tight end. I don't care that much.
Bro, take a tight end at 6. I'll be laughing my fucking ass off.
I feel like one of those. This was gonna happen though. I really do feel like one of those receivers is gonna fall to us, and I just if they take one, fine. But if you take one and be like, well, nah, because we're gonna run 4 wide, I'm gonna kill myself. Take one and trade and get a defender. Like, don't take one and just think we're gonna score 50 a game. That's not what I'm thinking. Take one, find somebody that'll trade you for Gallup because somebody will, and go get your defender, preferably a D tackle. But
because I'm looking here, and for me, look, as much as I like Micah Parsons, I know he's being a pain in the ass a bit. That's a bit of an understatement. For me, if we take, listen, I'm the hugest, biggest Penn State fan ever. If you take fucking Micah Parsons at 10, I'm starting to throw hands. Because number one, the amount of money you put into the freaking linebackers to get another linebacker at 10.
They won't do it.
But here's the thing, though. If you were to trade down and get him, okay, maybe. But that's another discussion. But I don't think Dallas will trade down. I think they're going to pick there unless they have a really good offer. I
used to think corner first as the 10, like when I first started looking at the draft. The reason why I've moved off is because there are some corners you might be able to get a little later if you want to get down
the road. Yep.
There are some. So you don't pass up on the tackle and then try to get a tackle later. That's not how this is going to work.
There are a million corners out there. You can always get a million corners.
I wouldn't mind getting one of them safeties in the second round, though.
Yeah.
But and here's the thing, bro, is like my thing is also is that you don't want to mess up a top 10 pick. That's a 5-year investment. You know, you mess up. Listen, the last time we had a top 10 pick, you took Zeke, and I'm not going to sit here. There you go, Robbie. You know where it is. Fix the trenches, period. You know where it's at. My thing is that with Zeke, a lot of people don't understand Zeke. When we took him, you can argue at the time it was a good selection because you had Tony Romo, you had a formula that worked a couple years ago, so you want to, and he's more talented than DeMarco Murray. And I'm not going to try and but
we had all the pieces then,
right?
And that was a great pick. Zeke was a great pick. We had all the pieces
then. Zeke was the ultimate putting you over the top pick.
Yeah,
Zeke won a couple games by himself. I gotta give it to him because Dak was still figuring it out. I can't lie,
but bro, I don't. But here's the thing, and here's the thing. I don't want any of us as fans, if you're watching this live stream or us as YouTubers, I don't want to see the revisionist history like Zeke was a terrible pick because he wasn't. I'm sorry. As much as listen, man, this is coming from some guy that. What's funny is before the draft, I honest to Christ felt that at pick 3 or 4, I was thinking either you can go get Wentz or you can go get Dak because ultimately I felt those were the two guys that I was comfortable with. But then
you saw it before everyone else because I did not even think about Dak. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, no, the reason why I kind of was like more
because Romo was supposed to still be playing.
Well,
for us, you know what I mean? He just kept getting hurt. That last time, that was it. It was a wrap.
Well, this is what's crazy because for me, I was like, I want to take a quarterback this draft. There were only 2 guys 3, but no, actually 2. It was Wentz and Dak. Because when I was watching it was like probably towards the final 2 weeks of the draft, I said, listen, Dak is reminding me a lot of McNabb when he was coming out. I was like, okay, I can see us getting him and developing him.
Yeah.
And I kind of was like, okay, I like that we got the quarterback, and I can see what he can do. And that's the thing, man, is how lucky we got there. But I don't want us to have this revisionist history of Zeke was a terrible pick because of what's going on now. Zeke was definitely worth the money. I think that and it's not like he's
dropped 25 pounds, he'd be great again.
Bro,
He think he a fullback.
But like, here's my thing. Jalen Ramsey, you don't know how he would have been acting. You know how he was in Jacksonville.
Jalen with a star on his head.
Oh my God! Don't get me started.
You see Jalen Ramsey without a star on his head? You give Jalen Ramsey this?
Well, for me, what's funny about that? I wanted Jalen Ramsey, and I was like, let's go get Derrick Henry in the second round, and let's go get a quarterback. But the thing is I don't want to, because I say that, I don't want to make it seem like, oh, I was right no, I wasn't, because ultimately Zeke was important for how things transpired. He helped Dak,
Derrick Henry's recency bias. The first 2 years, no one was that excited about Derrick Henry. He was extra regular. It's the last 2 years where he really didn't turn it on. He was doing like 1,000. He wasn't like going for 2. He hit his groove though. Some people just hit their groove.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, here, you know what's going to happen? And I think someone's going to mention this in my chat. Well, for me, I think that the Cowboys wanted to take Joey Bosa. I think they really wanted Joey Bosa.
I remember that talk.
I guarantee you, man, if Joey Bosa was on the board at 4, we would be talking about him. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Time. That's when he was.
Bro, let me tell you something. Joey Bosa was very tempting, and I think that if he didn't go at 3, Rome, you got a question, my man. Would you consider Gallup in a trade along with our 3rd pick this year for Gallimore? I think Stephon Gilmore from New England.
I hate to be fake GM, man, because I'm not. As long as we can pay him, I don't think Gilmore is a bad person to bring on the team. He definitely knows how to put his head down in the dirt and work and not be trying to be all boisterous. I can't. Yeah, because it's kind of doing the reverse of what I want. The reason why I would want to D-tackle is because it would help the secondary because, you're working inside out. But if you got a secondary that good, they can hold some of the routes down, and then it'll make your DNs better. So
all I'm gonna say,
I might consider that. But how much is he? Ain't he making like 18?
I'm looking at right now. He's in the last year of his deal. He's currently, he has a cap hit of 15 mil. He has 15 mil.
Oh, 15.
I do that. Yep.
Bro, listen, you know what I'm doing? I'm telling you, man. I'm getting Dak.
Who in the 3rd round? What pick is going to bringing that type of impact?
Well, bro, here's my problem. Not saying you said that. My problem is he's in the last year of his deal. Why am I giving up a 3rd round pick for a guy for a rental? I'd give up a 6th round pick.
You know why? You know why? Because that would be one of those go for it moves. Teams do that. Right. And if we were in the position to go for it, that's a good that sends ripples through your locker room.
Yeah.
They just gave up a pick. Nah, because we trying to win. We ain't playing. Sometimes you do too much building and the team's like, well, we ain't going for it in 2-3 years. No, we going for it right now. We just gave a whole pickup. So everybody need to get their mind right.
Right. I could definitely. I see what you're saying now.
Now, I don't think England is even thinking about trading with us, but yeah, if that was on the table, I'd do, because $15 million, I'd make that work. That's
right, bro.
You could put Diggs on. You know how he was running around trying to be a number 1 corner?
Mm-hmm.
You could put him on all the second receivers.
Right.
He was doing a pretty good job for a rookie. You put him in his 2nd year on the second receiver and Gilmore on all the ones, that transforms the whole defense. D-Law might get 10 sacks. Because think about it, he be this close. You give him a couple more seconds, he might get another sack or 2.
But yeah, man, I think ultimately that's right. 1980, you got a question, my man.
He's saying, what's up, man? Got a question for 1980. Dude, how do you think we can change our team's foundation under Jerry or Steven? Because I think that's the problem for us. Unfortunately, with them being the owners of the team, that's kind of a hard question to answer. It's going to have to come from the coaching on the field. It's up to them to set the tone for the player, for the expectations of and for the players when they get out on the practice field. It starts from the practice field. It's so many different things, so many different ways you can look at this. We already know how Jerry and Steven are as owners, and they don't like to give. It's their way or the highway. I think that it's going to have to be responsibility of the coaching staff. They're going to have to really, really coach and really, really set some ground fundamental rules for the team offensively and defensively. And that goes a long way. And that's you're right. That has been the problem for this team for so many years.
Right.
And it affects the draft that we're talking about right now with the numbers and everything and the players that are available at what number, what round, yada, yada, yada. It affects so many things. It affects the future. You have drafts for future talent. We're looking for future talent for this team, somebody that can lead us to the promised land. Picking the right spots. Dallas Cowboys not really putting too much stock into defensive backs, and they can pay their defensive ends, but nobody else, So that's been the problem with this team is our defense, and that's a foundational issue. And foundation comes from the ground up. They're the parents. They're the parents in the household. They're the teachers in the classroom, and so on and so on.
Right.
And you have to come from a structural environment and come from a solid foundation in order to be great. And just like Tampa Bay, they have a solid foundation there. You got your owners who you never hear about. You got your coaches who you rarely.
They got a really good GM over there too.
They got a good, solid foundation, and then there's the players. Then they got the right players in there and personnel and things like that. So they start from the ground up there. We don't start from the ground up in Dallas. Jerry thinks he's got everything figured out, which he hasn't had anything figured out since Jimmy Johnson, really. But that's a tough question because look what type of owner we got. Look what he's done for us as fans and to the players and to this organization. He's done a good job at putting the organization on the map and being the richest team in sports, period, and having all the primetime games and stuff like that. But as far as where it counts, it was on the field, in the trenches, getting the ball and scoring in the red zone when it counts and, making a big play, getting the right defensive guys to 3 and out and get the ball back for your offense. That's been neglected. You can't have a solid foundation if the word neglect exists on the football team. And that word neglect is really, really big for the Dallas Cowboys. They've neglected so many things for so many years, and money don't solve everything. You get what I'm saying? You can't tell.
Right.
You can't tell rich folk anything. They think they know it. That's why I'm rich and you're not.
Exactly.
So it is what it is.
And I think what's crazy, because I remember I want to say there was a documentary. I want to say it was the America's Game for 1994, when the Cowboys won Super Bowl 30. And I remember as early as then, Steven didn't want to sign Chris White with the $4.99, CeeDee Lamb for Orlando Brown Jr. and a 3rd-round pick.
I'm not leaving. I'm not giving up CD. You could take Gallup.
Give me Gallup in a second. I'll take Gallup in a second, and I'll move.
I'll send you Gallup in an extra tight end or something. But I'm not giving you CD.
I just had to show him some love.
No, definitely give him love. No, but bro, as I was saying, I remember there was a moment where Steven he didn't want to bring in Dion because of the cap.
Yeah.
Jerry was like, Steven.
They went to blows. They always went to blows.
Yes. Jerry and Steven would go at it as early as 1990.
Now. He ain't got no blows in him no more. So Steven be winning these arguments.
No, and that's the thing. Steven was all about he's Cap Boy, as Mike White Burgers and Blitzes on Twitter. One of my favorite Cowboys.
That's my boy.
Yeah, he's my boy. I love what he put because it's hilarious the shit he says, and it's true. But for me, Cap Boy was all like, we don't want to ruin the cap. It was one of Jerry's it's crazy that I'm saying this because looking back on it, it's a tale of two halves. Jerry was really way too aggressive when he was doing his GMing. Steven and his GMing is way too soft. Way too I don't want to do anything.
Yeah, but what we gonna do when Jerry not here no more?
Oh, we're fucked.
Because Steven gonna have us like, you know what? We are real good monetary.
Listen, man. We like our guys. Literally, all the guys are all like shit. But seriously though, it shows you when you go back and look. It's like, oh shit, this was happening back then. What's going on, Mike? Cowboys corner over there in the house. But I think ultimately what scares me is that it's a foundation problem from the top. The problem is you have one guy that's not willing to, like, he's like, oh, we like our guys, but the problem is your guys aren't they don't have that because you allowed them to manifest this whole. I'm fine. I got paid. I don't need, listen, Jalen Smith pisses me off so fucking much. Jalen Smith pisses me off to no end because for me, as soon as you get that next contract, I'm looking at you like freaking Hawkeye. Like I am looking at you. I was the same thing with Dez. With Dez, I hate to say this, but man, if I'm paying you top level money and you're hurt or you're not putting up those numbers, I'm sorry, man. Tough love. You got to go.
I was cool with paying Dez too because I like his attitude.
Man.
True.
I like his attitude. Look, sometimes it ain't just on the field. That's why I want to pay Dak because it's his attitude.
Yeah.
Dez brought Dak brings like that calming force, but we don't got a Dez on this team right now.
No.
Who gets mad when we playing trash?
Yeah.
True. I mean, like you got fucking Jalen just swiping and all this other crap.
He swipes after he gets a penalty. it's like offside.
He's gonna swipe his ass out of Dallas at this rate. But no.
Hey guys, I gotta get ready to get out of here, man.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do some closing stuff. Once again, Rome, thank you so much for coming on, man. In 1980, I know it's crazy over there, brother. Yeah. I know, and I was worried that you would be leaving us because
I know.
But man,
what is my power? What is my power? Because they were cutting our power off so frequently, man. Yesterday was crazy. It was like 20-minute increments. We were like 20 minutes on, an hour off. 20 minutes on, an hour off. Today it's been on pretty much all day. So I'm just like,
man, yeah, but yeah. Go ahead.
I got one thing to say.
Oh, go ahead, bro.
I'm watching this back 1980 because you was preaching earlier. I'm letting you know right now, in a good way, in a good way. I might need to splice that and put that out. People need to see that.
Yeah,
it's real. Like it needs to be circulated. We circulate stupid stuff in Dallas Cowboys Nation. People need to hear that, and I hope some players get wind of it too. Because anyway, I'm gonna rewatch that as soon as we get off.
Right. But bro, plug your stuff, my man.
Oh, my fault. I'm not focused. Cowboys fan talk, man. Like I said earlier in the video, man, I've been doing this for about 7-8 months. I appreciate these established fellas, for bringing me on and just having me around. You know what I'm saying? Definitely respect their opinions and everything they do. If you want to come through and check the channel out, I appreciate it. I'm also Cowboys_fan talk on Twitter. It's about 100 of them following me. Y'all can follow. Y'all can be 101. But that's pretty much it, man. I appreciate y'all bringing me on.
No, not a problem, man. I don't have much else to say other than can they please just do something? Like it's like
yeah.
Listen, got a doomsday clock going on now, but we all know what probably is going to happen. So fingers crossed. All right, guys. Hopefully everyone out there in Texas and in the Midwest, you guys are safe. We're making sure you guys are, keeping your thoughts and prayers there. So
absolutely.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
All right. Peace.